Here is a good tip for connecting to your higher power and getting a really strong universal connection to whatever you sense your higher power to be. And in mine, I have a very strong belief in a higher intelligent power that is God. What that is, I don't know, but I've had enough experiences to tell me that there's a higher power, that there's something there that is the maker of all. Um, Right, what I would suggest is listen for the birds. Listen to the bird song in the morning time. And just really listen to how the birds, all the different sounds that the bird is making when you hear the birds at any time of day, but I notice it more in the morning. I lived for many years in central London where there was very little trees or foliage or anything like that. At that time, for the first 13 years, I was in addiction and I never heard birds song. Then I got sober. I was about a year sober. And then one morning, I just became aware that I started to hear this stunning bird sound and bird calling and all the different ripples in how the bird uses the bird call. And I looked outside my window, my living room window, and there was a tree there. It had been there, obviously, all the time I had lived there. I just never noticed it. And I thought, oh, it was only a small tree. It wasn't anything. There was no big trees there. But there was obviously birds in this tree. And so I just started to become aware of this bird song. But it was only when I got sober. So obviously all the time I was drinking, the birds were still there, the tree was still there. But because I was so desensitized from my emotions because of alcohol addiction, and I was a very serious alcoholic, a bottle of vodka most days. So when I took away the addiction, took away the alcohol, my senses started to come back into play, and I just started to become more attuned in my senses. And one of the first things was hearing the bird song. And I really felt so excited by this. This so excited me. And I lived on two streets. My flat was on two sides. So on my living side area, my kitchen, my bedroom was on one street, and then my bedrooms were on the other side. And then I woke up one morning in my bedroom, and I started to hear it again from the bedroom side, which was the other street. And I looked out again, and there was a small tree there, something that had been planted kind of quite recently by the council, in the last 3 or 4 years. And I just started to hear all this bird song again. And for a long time, I would wake up in the morning and I would just hear this continuous bird song for an hour, 2 hours, or however long. And I just allowed myself to be with these sounds and to really hear and listen to them. And I would just hear the most beautiful melodies and sounds from the birds. And this really, really was very helpful for me in stilling me down and coming away from the mind and helping me just feel very connected to something much, much more powerful, and taking me away from my connection of the mind and the ego. So it was something away from myself that seemed to be the trick. The birds were good, was very good for doing this. Anyway, I'm 14 years sober now, and I went through a period. This went on for about a year, 2 years, and then I went through a period where I could still hear the bird song, but it felt like they were attacking me, and it really hurt me to hear it. Now, I really put this down to that this was more about my emotional growth. So I was going through stages by not drinking again and not using any kind of antidepressants. I was going through different stages of the peeling away of the onion, because I didn't have any anesthetic, i.e. the alcohol or the drugs or any kind of drugs, blocking my emotions. So I was going through a journey. This really is key. And so for a period of quite a long time, 2 or 3 more years, I was very uncomfortable, and I felt it very painful to my ears. It wasn't a pleasurable experience for me, hearing this continuous bird song. And then now I'm at a stage where I've come out another side, and again this continuous peeling away layers of the onion, as I say, the emotional layers. And now again, I just started hearing the bird song about 6 months ago. Um, Usually early in the morning, in my bedroom, which is at the back of the house where I'm living now, and it is just so exquisite listening to this and just focusing on this. So I would really would say to you, interestingly enough, I was involved in a meditation course about a year or 2 years sober, and while I was in this meditation classes, I would be aware of the bird song outside. Um, so try to just listen out for the bird song. Really try to attune your ears to hearing out for bird song, and try to bring it into your awareness, the bird song, as much as you can, because it'll just bring you into it. It'll take you away from the active agitated mind, is what I call it, that's always turning over and beating you up, and that repeated stories, like a repeated video about things from the past or worries from the future. The bird song will keep you in the moment. That's really the kind of one of the keys. The bird song will help you be in the moment. When we stay in the moment, when we try to be in the moment, is why we will have our really higher connections to something higher, because we're in the moment. Okay, so I really just say, listen out for your bird song quietly in your home, because there will be around where you are. You will start to know, no matter where you are, you will start to become aware of bird song if you just listen, sit there. I hear it from my bed. um, just listen, and just listen to all the different sounds. And these are just the ones I hear normally are usually small birds. So something, there'll be something like a sparrow or something of a small bird of that size, and just listening to them communicating with each other. But I would hear all this something, that kind of thing. And just listening to it, I find really helps me connect and make me feel very grounded, and takes me away from the fear of the mind. So if you experience something, if you can listen to the birds, and you have a change in your emotions or how you're experiencing, if you notice your emotions changing and your senses changing from doing that, please do comment on this video. Okay, thank you.